So an example of a hard leader, if you will, was somebody who had spent the better part of their career inside an organization and done a lot of installations. So built a function inside the organization, led a business, multiple businesses inside the organization, turned a business around within the organization, and they did this through brute force, oftentimes leaving bodies in the ditch along the way, really delivering outcomes. Fantastic business outcomes, very poor cultural and people outcomes. When the board came to us and asked us about this individual, at the time they were 3 layers down from the CEO, but clearly a high potential and clearly garnered some visibility. The questions on the board's mind, though, was how can we help this individual move from having a huge wake behind them to really focusing on, how do they bring people along with them, how do they slow down, how do they get buy-in. So we went up and we assessed the individual. We had a coaching session with the individual. The individual was incredibly intelligent, somebody who'd gotten there, really through their intellect and sheer power. They dismissed us in the first coaching session and basically figured that we couldn't help, and they were going to go it alone. But listen to one of the activities that we mentioned to them was really around moving from forcing outcomes to managing an outcome. And whenever we coach somebody, we don't want them to be 2.0 executive tomorrow. What we want them to do is think about what's a safe environment for them to start trying new things on. This executive decided that they were going to try on just one piece of the coaching, which is thinking about their constituencies, thinking about managing an outcome, and how are they going to do that. And they tried it on and had a success because they chose an environment where they could get their first hit successfully. It was safe, and it was a pretty easy win for them. As a result, they had positive feedback. What's important for us, though, and what's important for the executive is that positive reinforcement and that positive feedback brought them back for their second coaching session. And in that second coaching session, trust was established. They figured that we're there to help them, and they started to move into the more difficult areas around getting buy-in, bringing people with them, really slowing down and starting to think about the organization and what's it going to do to the organization if I just force this outcome versus managing an outcome and getting a stickier result.